Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
And that means I am Nick.
I'm Tyler.
And this week, we got a special episode. I think this is an episode we've been waiting for. We got Kevin Smith reviewing some of his films. Ready for it.
One, two, three, four. Noise. Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers. Rolling baddies, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts. Rolling blunts and smoking.
Let me get a nickel back.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me. Oh,
That's a good one.
I will say Jay and Silent Bob was my first dive into Kevin Smith. The guy, I was probably like too young to see that movie. So I'm, 10, 11, 12 maybe?
I think for me it was Dogma, because of Comedy Central. Comedy Central played the fuck out of Dogma.
I'm fairly certain you showed us Jay and Silent Bob. Like we were at your house sleepover or some shit, maybe a birthday party. I'm fairly certain because
that sounds familiar.
I've always known you to be the Kevin Smith guy.
Yeah,
so.
I came fully ready to I got my shields up. I'm ready to defend.
You're kind of our Kevin Smith aficionado here.
Yeah.
So sinners, this week, well, to be honest, we had planned to go see
Yoga
Kevin
Hosers.
Smith's new flick, Yoga Hosers. And turns out it's in a very limited release. Nowhere near us. We're based in Kansas City.
The closest one was Overland Park, and we're north of Kansas City, so that's even farther than regular Kansas
It's like
City.
a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
It's longer drive for us guys with busy schedules.
And not only was it in limited theaters, it had limited showings. So usually, since I'm up all night at work, I usually go see it 11 in the morning, and the earliest showing was about 5 o'clock, and then I think they had some 7 o'clock showings. Basically, nothing hit a window that we could.
The Cinamen agenda just could not make it work.
Correct.
So we decided to take advantage of the situation, and we didn't get to focus on all of Kevin Smith's films, sadly, because I feel like he's someone where, I feel like each movie you get a little bit more of him, and, to really get his full agenda, you got to conquer all 7, 8 of his films, however many there are. But we got a few of his big ones, some recent ones.
Well, maybe when Moose Jaws comes out, we can hit the ones that we missed.
The 2 years, yeah, that'll be good. Or next year, I don't know.
I don't know.
So we decided to do Clerks. Obviously, his
Cinematic debut.
That's the one, debut. I was trying to think. I knew it started with a D. We got Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back because
it all starts with a D.
I feel like,
everything starts with a D. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Life.
I feel like Jay and Silent Bob is arguably his fan favorite. If I was to,
it's not my favorite.
I feel like when you say Kevin Smith to someone in public, I feel like Jay and Silent Bob is one of the first answers you're going to get.
Yeah, people know Jay and Silent Bob. Not necessarily Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't think.
And so we decided also to do Mallrats, his second movie, and then we obviously did one of his newer ones, a complete opposite of the other three, Tusk.
Yeah, we wanted to do something with a little more contrast, something that's not what people think of when they think Kevin Smith. Because I'll be honest, I didn't even know this movie came out.
I think I'd forgotten all about it until I saw the trailer, and it definitely piqued my interest.
It definitely looks like a really great movie, and I enjoyed it. It's definitely not my favorite.
It's not my favorite.
I enjoy it. I almost enjoy it just in spirit more than I enjoy the actual movie. I did like a lot of the movie, and then there's some parts, and we'll get into it, that I just
right
didn't really enjoy.
So we got, and obviously Cinamen Tyler has seen almost all of his films, if not all,
except for Yoga Hosers. I believe I've seen them all.
So I've
completed his resume.
Yeah, even Jersey Girl.
Yeah, I've never seen Jersey. I've seen Zack and Miri make a porno.
Well, I feel like I heard this
Red State
on an interview. Someone asked Kevin Smith, "What did you learn from making Jersey Girl?" And his answer was, "You don't make Jersey Girl."
What was wrong with Jersey Girl?
It just sucked. I mean, it didn't.
Was that his third film? Was that after? I mean, obviously it was after Mallrats, but what was after?
I believe it was before Zack and Miri.
Oh, the first one before Zack and Miri?
No,
because he went on a few-year hiatus between movies, right?
Well, I just recently listened to his podcast. I can't remember what it was called. Basically, he went through and read all the bad reviews for Yoga Hosers. It was a really good. To me, it was inspirational just to see how well he takes all the bad publicity.
And
It
just
didn't even
bounced-
phase him.
Yeah, I was say he's been really receptive to all the hate for all his movies.
Correct. And he even actually goes so far as to read some Mallrats reviews from when Mallrats first came out, and they were almost worse than Yoga Hoser's reviews. So he was talking about how he made 2 movies, because, he got into movies because he loves them, right? He wanted to make movies. He didn't care what people thought. He made movies that he wanted to make. And then he kind of got worried and, tried to give the public what they wanted, and that's where Jersey Girl and Zack and Miri Make a Porno came from. And now he's just trying to get back to doing what he loves. He's just making movies that he wants to make.
He's got a whole trilogy set in Canada.
And he loves Canada. I mean, he did a stint on Degrassi. I'm sure
he
you
did.
guys remember
I was
that.
going to say, I was going to bring that up. He was like the big shit at the end of one season and going into the start of another season. So he was like that, the end of this season and the, oh shit, this one's starting off with a bang next season. He was that guy.
Yeah.
And I remember me and Nick actually were watching that, him and Jay.
Jason Mewes.
Yeah,
They were
both
filming a Jay and Silent Bob movie at Degrassi.
Yeah.
Go Canadian A, I think is what it's called.
Oh,
Did they?
yeah. Oh my God.
Jay
Yeah,
and
it was.
Silent
Okay,
Bob.
I
Jason
haven't
Bob.
seen that.
No, it's not a real
that's
movie.
That's
It was
the movie they're filming in Degrassi.
Oh, okay. That's
And I
cool.
heard he improvised all of his lines. Well, if you see,
Well, he wrote all of his lines. He wrote it like his.
oh, was that okay?
scripts or
Maybe I read the improvised one. I know he's good at improvisation. Well, if you
Who? Jason Mewes?
well, him and Kevin
Well,
Smith.
Kevin
I think.
Smith. I mean, you could say he
Jason
improvises,
Mewes-
but he doesn't really
all of
say anything in
Jay's-
the movies.
All of Jay's
A couple,
lines in every movie just sound like off the top of his head. I put him in like a field with like Stifler from American Pie, where like you take the cussing game to a whole nother level. Like
You ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat?
you've got your own category. And that you gotta admire that. I love a guy that can make funny, quip, hardcore cussing.
Do you think that's who he is in real life? I feel like him and Kevin Smith were just buddies, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm doing this movie. Just stand around and be you."
Yeah.
It's pretty funny when you talk. We should record it and make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, Noochies.
Snoochie boochies. So I guess first film. I don't know, Nick. We'll let you take.
We should start
I
with...
think we should, if I may, I think we should start at the beginning.
I get it, whatever. That's cool.
Oh, okay, Nick. I didn't know that's what you.
Well,
were
I mean,
gonna
is
do.
that not
Sinners, did you
it's not
notice
like-
how I just played voice, with the voice
Nick? I didn't know you
games?
were that
If
good
you,
at voice
if you have a
acting.
reason to not start at the beginning, let's do it.
No, that's
But-
whatever, that's fine. Start with the one I haven't seen, that's cool.
Well, that isn't my fault.
It's your fault we're starting with it.
Oh,
We could have came out of the
shots-
gate. Oh,
shots
we've all seen
fired.
this one. Good job, guys.
What would you have started with?
Oh, doesn't matter now. Let's go. We're on Clerks.
Oh, Clerks.
Black and white. Why?
If I had to guess, I'd say budget constraints because
I agree.
If-
Dumb.
well,
Dumb. I just have a problem with.
Wow,
if
straight
it's
out the gate.
If it's
Okay.
modern, go black and white.
but it wasn't
It is.
modern. It was like
It's not a time.
I don't know, man. You look. It's
It
all
kinda is.
They're at like a video. Part of it is like they're at like a video store. It takes place at the neighboring video store, or whatever it is.
Well,
and it's all VHSs. And watching that, you don't think.
But that was modern at the time.
I know that's why
He was
saying
in-
timepiece.
I'm pretty sure
it's-
he was in college when he made this movie. I'm sure there was budget constraints. He didn't like go out and get a budget. He just
No.
got his friends together and said, "Hey,
No.
let's go make a movie."
I-
And not only that, it's a classic.
He
Like
got to-
whatever you say, you haven't seen it, so you're
I'm not doubting the quality of the movie. I'm
Yeah.
just saying black and white, dumb.
Well, actually, okay. I'll be the one to doubt the quality of the movie.
Yeah, get on him for it.
The video, the shot quality,
The picture.
It's a lot more amateur than I thought it was going to be. And I'm not saying that like, oh, this guy's a hack. Well, I guess not a hack because he's
Well,
that's his
when
first
we
one.
did-
he's not experienced. There's shots that are grainy. There's shots where you lose focus. And it's
okay. What do you think of Christopher Nolan?
hold on.
I'm
Can we
not-
put? Are you putting them in the same category? Is
Hold
that
on.
what we're?
Well, I kind of. Do.
I'm gonna let you.
but
All right, I'm gonna let you continue with
do
your.
you like Christopher Nolan?
Yeah.
Have you seen Following? His first film,
No.
black and white, terrible audio.
Dumb. I
Great
guess.
movie.
I just have a problem with black and white.
Did you say
It's-
terrible audio?
Yeah,
Okay.
like,
That is in no way deduct from the quality of the movie. I just have a problem with black and white.
man. That's
Whether that was
that's
budgetary or not.
That's such a
I
blind
just-
spot that you have.
Is
like-
it because okay? So for me, when the movie starts, it's black and white. Like you said, I tried starting this months ago. 2 minutes in, I'm figuring out the whole thing is in black and white. I turned it off, and I don't know whether that's because I could go back and watch Wizard of Oz, knowing the first 25 minutes of that are black and white, and that's not a problem. Like, is that if it's classic and they didn't have color, that's okay. But it's like you had the choice for color and you chose not to.
Yeah, I just don't get
I don't
why
think he
in
had
any
the
world
choice.
would you want... What do you mean? If they
He didn't
film
have
it...
them.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a super.
He had like no budget.
Wouldn't
I'm
it
pretty
film
sure.
in color? Because it's,
Not
in
if you
color?
film it on black and white film style.
Well, he had to film the whole thing at night. Like he worked at the store they film at. This is what I read IMDb. So if this is not real, don't hate me, hate IMDb. The manager was like, yeah, you can film here only at night. And I think I was talking to Tyler about it because there's definitely shots in the day or made to look like day. And I think that'd be easier to do with like lights off, lights. And you can, because black and white, you can just like, all you got to do is simulate
I just
it.
feel like that's not a style that I would go for.
I feel like that's a crazy bias to have if you like movies, man.
I'm not doubting black and white films.
Okay,
I just
what
think
about-
if
okay,
you
let me
have
throw this
the
at- let me
option
throw
to
this
film
at
in
you.
color,
Sin
why
City.
isn't it?
That was a stylistic choice to go black and white.
It is comic book faithful, and I respect it.
So you can.
Wait,
so
what
comic
is-
books are okay in black
on,
and
what do you-
white, even though I'm sure they had colored markers. Am I wrong?
I think you're taking this that I have a problem with black and white, and I don't. I have a problem with movies
You just
that
said you had a
could
problem
be
with
color and are black and white.
But it doesn't have to be color. Like, why does it have to be color?
Because
Why does
to
it
me,
have
that's
to be
more
anything?
appealing. That makes me want to watch it. It's just
It's-
more visually aesthetic.
It's harder to watch because it's black and white and non-actiony. Like, okay, like if Sin City.
See, now I think you're just pulling arbitrary rules out of your ass. Why does action okay in black and white, but commentary and dialogue isn't?
Black and white to me is just unappealing to look at. I want a movie that's vibrant and fun for my eyes.
Right,
To,
yeah,
and then I want my eyes to want to look at it.
I'm throwing defense in both your corners. I'm saying with Nick, like let's say Sin City was all black and white. That's a very stylistic film with heavy effects. So that's different to watch. Like you're like, oh shit, Sin City. I don't care what color that is. I'm gonna watch it. But this one, there's like no action. It's definitely very low quality amateur style filming, and that's not a problem with me. I'm just saying, what I'm saying? Like, okay, Watchmen's most like if I think it's a beautiful piece of film. It had no action in it. It would still be a beautiful piece of film.
It has-
you throw in the action.
I don't know if you watched the same movie I did. Watchmen has very little action.
I
Watchmen?
guess it has some.
We're talking about Watchmen. Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
Yeah, that's very dialogue, very.
That's got awesome action.
It's got awesome action, but it's got very.
The opening scene's got more action than Clerks.
Of course, Clerks isn't an action movie.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm saying black and white with heavy action is going to be more appealing, I think, to Nick. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I think you're quick to think that we're hating on him, and we're not. My problem was not with the black and white.
It may be a
low-quality-
super great movie. I'm just saying, it's like
To
if
me,
it's
the-
not in color. I'm just like, I'm turned
To
off.
me, the black and white doesn't detract away
It
from the
was
experience.
it was the
at all.
story that detracted me from the movie. Like I said, I feel like he spends a lot of time building up and like dropping story points here and there, and then at the end it kind of all like rushes on you. And that's not a problem. I'm just noticed a pattern in all his movies.
It's not really a story-driven film. It's just dialogue. It's
No.
just some.
I feel like it's a very personal film. Like,
Yeah.
this is all just experience, and he decided to make a story plan out of it. Like,
Yeah.
and I've got the utmost respect for that. In fact, like, dude, what are you gonna do? You make a workplace comedy. The script I was wanting to write is like the same thing.
Yeah.
Personal experiences at the place I work. I just wouldn't be allowed to film there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I've got no problem with the quality. That is an issue to me. But I have so much respect for him. I'm not gonna knock him for it.
Yeah.
To see what he's doing now, and the fact that he's got a loyal fan base that you can say started with this movie, and this started his own little universe of characters and
Correct. A lot of
themes and plots and
things
stuff.
that come up in the other movies are pulled straight from this movie.
yeah. Like he uses Randall and Dante in a lot of stuff. He uses
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob, obviously.
Just to jump to Tusk for a second, I was really disappointed Jason Mewes didn't make an appearance.
I was looking for him.
Yeah.
I was looking for him.
I actually didn't even think about that until you just said that. Yeah, that does kind of.
Because he's even in Zack and Miri, but not as Jay.
He's in the episode of The Flash that Kevin Smith directed.
Yeah, he's just. I like to see him.
Who is he in that?
He's
Flash?
a nobody. He just
Oh.
walks out of a like the place they go to. I think it's like the Big Belly Burger or something. He's got a date, and his mom / his car is like all messed up and makes him look.
It wasn't
goofy
a
or
movies.
funny.
They didn't go to a movies.
No. And
He's
he
like-
didn't cuss or anything at all. No smoking blunts. He just
He's like, that
was
Flash
normal.
guy is too
Well-
fast. You know what he needs? Some snoochie boochies.
Yeah.
Something to slow him down, dial him back a little bit.
Some jungle love.
But stepping away from the black and white aspect of this movie,
let's
yes,
move on a little bit.
We're very aware it's, like I was telling Nick here, very amateur.
I will never ever doubt a black and white movie again if I'm going to offend somebody.
Very amateur, but he was an amateur. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, to take that, and even to look at his next one, Mallrats, where you can tell just the overall production
very-
quality has gone up.
It's gone up, but it's still very amateur.
It is like, and I mean, he's got some good actors and some actors that I'm like, okay, you just sound like you're trying to like remember the line in your head instead of playing it out normal. You know, like the guy who played Jason Lee's brother, or not his friend, whatever.
The main character.
Yeah, because he was in like Grind as Jimmy, that
I don't think he
popular
was
skater
very.
guy.
I don't think he was very good in Mallrats.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm coming to.
But it's still a great movie.
I don't think I heard he forgot his lines like all the time, and he's quote unquote trained. You know, I don't know what the extent of his training is. Sinners.
Lots of air quotes over here.
Yeah, there's lots. I'm just throwing out air quotes like it's playing cards. But Jay and Silent Bob, like Dante, I think in Jay and Silent Bob, like I feel like his acting only gets better from there.
Yeah, definitely.
Randall's fucking awesome.
Randall's the best part of Clerks 1. Probably Clerks 2 as well.
Is Randall the black-haired guy?
Randall's the guy that comes out in Jay and Silent Bob and he's like, by the way, the time sucked ass.
He's like,
At the very beginning.
I thought I told you guys to stop selling weed out here in front of the store.
That's Randall.
I got nothing. I don't remember.
The beginning
that
of Jay and Silent Bob. Right after the fuck, motherfucker, you know, he throws the kid on the
I'm
wall.
with you there, yeah, but...
And the guy that comes out and he like locks the door, that's Randall. The guy with the...
That guy.
Why don't you just say the guy we saw in Clerks? Why don't you say the blonde guy in Clerks?
You didn't see Clerks. Why would you even know what I'm talking
I said,
about?
is it the brunette guy? And you guys were like, it's this guy.
I didn't hear you say the brunette guy. Tyler, did you hear him say the brunette guy?
Sinners, it's
No.
there. Can't wait till you hear this and comment on it.
Sinners,
So it's the
comment on
blonde.
how Nick thinks he said something, but he clearly must have been
It's the one you
imagining
said got bigger between Clerks 1 and 2?
That's true, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was there for that. Come on, guys.
We
Yeah.
weren't recording.
I don't think we
So
said that
you
on
think
air.
We weren't on air at that point, Nick.
I know, but I was there when you said it because it was said. Anyways, so you think the blonde
He was the best part.
is the best part?
Clerks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I
How
thought
did
I read Kevin
never
Smith
use-
wanted that role, and that's like, you know, so he wrote the role for himself, giving him the really good lines, really
Yeah.
funny ones, and obviously he decided to,
Give it to the person who can deliver him better.
yeah. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. You know, I guess I would do the same thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna give myself some memorable lines. Like if Heath Ledger wrote The Dark Knight, you
Yeah.
know, give himself like, you know, why so serious, all that shit. You know, that's.
Yeah, he's really good. He works in the movie store next door. It's connected to the Quick Stop. I think it's probably run by the same person.
Yeah, because they talk about them.
Because he runs the register. Randall runs the register every once in a while.
Yeah, because Dante says something like, "You're always mouthing off to the customers that the manager choose me out for," or something
Yeah.
like, you know, making it sound like.
Yeah, in the movie, Randall ends up selling cigarettes to like a 4-year-old
I think he said a
girl,
4-year-old
5-year-old,
girl.
something like that. And then someone comes in later and Dante gets the ticket.
Slaps like a $500 fine on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang! All right.
And then he's with he's with a woman, I guess, for some time, but he's like crazy about his ex.
Yeah, so he's with a girl now, but he still talks to his ex all the time and still wants to get back with her. Finds out she's getting married to an Asian design major, which I didn't know why that was so important, but
Well, I feel like the whole ex-girlfriend bit came in definitely towards like the second half.
yeah.
Like that's when like, oh, there's kind of a plot to this, you know? Because at first it just seems like you're watching a dude.
Are we still on Clerks?
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah.
Okay.
We're watching it like two dudes just go through their like shit day, you know, like they don't give a shit, or Dante tries to give a shit.
Well, yeah, Dante's obviously the more responsible of the two, but he's not supposed to be there, right? He's got this day off planned where he's supposed to play hockey. You know, he's not planning on going to work. He gets a
he
call.
closed the night before.
Yeah, he closed the night before, gets a call in the morning. The boss says, go in, I'll be there by noon to relieve you. So he goes into work, and then the boss isn't showing up. He calls the boss, finds out the boss is in a different state, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, he's obviously not showing up. He got
He's gone
screwed
for,
into
he's
working.
gone for the weekend.
Yeah, he got screwed into working the whole day. And, you know, he keeps telling everybody, I'm not even supposed to be here today. I'm not even supposed to be here today. And that line carries over into Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
It's in the trailer for Yoga Hosers. The chick says it.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, that's the line. And I was like,
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't
Yeah.
seen Clerks yet.
And so he ends up, so he's supposed to be the responsible one, and he ends up closing the store to go play hockey because he's, you know, pissed off at the boss, and he's obviously got Randall talking in his ear. You know,
Hold on. He closes the store to play hockey
on
the roof.
Yeah.
Like, Randall just closes up the video store and, like, goes over there. Like, it's, like, several times a day. You know, like...
Yeah, he'll just lock up the store and walk over.
And Dante's he doesn't want to do that, but, you know, he's like, you know, I've had a shit day. Screw this. Let's go up there. And you can see people, you know, it shows people, like, going up, like, pulling on the door. It's locked, and they're like, you know, what the fuck? It's his opening time. This is ridiculous.
Like the first time you see Randall, he walks up and there's a chick waiting outside the movie store. And Randall goes up and kind of pulls on the door handle because it's supposed to be open already. He's like, "What, the guy's not here yet?" She's like, "Nope, I've been standing here for 30 minutes." And she's like, "I'd go to the video store down the street, but the movie I want, I can see. It's right there." And he's like, "Oh, that's what I came for." And she's like, "Well, I was here first." He's like, "I bet you $20 you don't get that video." She's like, "You're on." So he strolls on past, walks into the quick stop, come back, grabs the key, I'm assuming, comes back out, unlocks the door, goes inside, and then does this like move where he like swings the door open and like gestures her inside. So like, you know, there's this moment where she realizes that, you know, she's just been played or whatever. But
Nice.
He never got the money, did he?
I don't know. You don't really get to see if she
Right.
That's not the point of the joke.
It's definitely a lot of like I said, the whole movie feels like him and his buds like sat down, put a bunch of these like funny experiences, and I don't know, a lot of these probably don't seem true. Oh, I guess a lot of them do seem
Well,
true.
I don't know. I worked at a gas station, and a lot of it's just like right on point.
Right. Yeah. No.
Like when he's like, "How much?" Like the customers are like, "How much does this cost?" And there's like big signs saying like 99 cents, you know, and it's
I guess mine was mainly like the chick in the bathroom with the dead guy,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, that's where we
Spoilers,
take
everybody. Spoilers.
Yeah. If you haven't seen these movies,
Spoilers.
spoilers. Go see them. Spoilers. If you're a Kevin Smith fan, you've probably already seen these movies. If you're not a Kevin Smith fan,
Did you like Clerks 1 better than Clerks 2?
It's tricky. I think Clerks 2 was funnier. I like Clerks 1. I like the story behind Clerks 1. I like that he's just a filmmaker who wanted to make a film, and he did it, and now he blew up, you know? He didn't wait on Hollywood to recognize him and, you know, throw tons of money at him to make a movie. He just
Right.
made a movie.
I didn't care for the story as much, but I have an ungodly amount of respect for his effort of making the film, as amateur as it is. You know, the dialogue, he's very dialogue heavy.
Yeah, he's a Tarantino in that sense, where it's like very much about what they're saying, not what they're doing.
I noticed that in Mallrats, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, Clerks is the same way. And I noticed because we watched like 4 or 5 of these movies. They're all like that.
Yeah. I think Tusk is the first time it's not like, well,
Tusk is
was
also a different
outside
monster,
of its
you know,
weirdness.
yeah.
All of them outside of all his weirdness, awesome writer. Like
Yeah.
some of the banter in Mallrats was really good. Some of the the stories the guy in Tusk was telling.
Yeah.
Howard was
Yeah,
telling.
yeah.
Like I was like, damn, that's like
Uh-huh.
impressive because I feel like I don't look at Kevin Smith like that. To me, he's just like a DC. He's like my DC boy that he doesn't know about me, but I know about him, and like we'd fist bump if he were here.
Right? Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, named his daughter Harley Quinn. I mean, come on.
yeah.
But the fact that he can write so well and just doesn't look like a writer at all.
Yeah. And part of I think Clerks to me, especially because I had just seen this movie for the first time. You know, I can't say that I saw this in theaters and I followed him ever since. You know, like, you know, this is my first dive. If the writing wasn't as good as it was, it would have been a lot harder for me to stay in with the movie, you know? Because Randall and Dante are just fucking hilarious.
One thing I can say about Kevin Smith is he was the first person that I really paid attention to directors for. You know what I mean? I saw Dogma, and then I saw, I think, Clerks 2. I don't think I really dove into Kevin Smith until after Clerks 2. And I was like, oh, those were the same people? And that's the first time I kind of saw the line, saw the connection between directors. And it made me interested in like, oh, well, if this person made this and this person made this, I wonder who made this. And I wonder what else they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I've got a very, you know, obviously we don't know each other, but it's a very personal in my perspective to Kevin Smith.
See, that's how I felt like about Jay and Silent Bob. Like, I was like, oh, this Jay and Silent Bob. Oh, and obviously the title, I was like, wait, isn't that like The Empire Strikes Back? And they're like, yeah. Like I said, it was not you. I thought it was you, man. I thought it was you.
It probably was.
And you're like, yeah, it's, you know, the whole movie kind of, at the end, kind of plays off this, like, Star Wars knockoff shit. And you're like, yeah, these two characters are actually characters in these other movies by the same director. And I was like, wait a minute. So he took these minor guys in a bunch of his films and made a big movie out of them. What? Like,
And I think it's
that's so crazy, you
it's
know?
so
like,
smart to make himself Silent Bob too. Like, I think it'd be very hard to direct yourself, but if you're only directing yourself not saying anything, it takes a lot of the pressure off.
He's, as now seeing his first performance of Silent Bob in Clerks, and going all the way to like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where he's got a lot of the screen time. Silent Bob has become more expressive in like his his manners. Because in Clerks, I felt like he just like sat there and smoked and
Yeah.
didn't make a lot
Yeah.
of faces. And then in Clerks, you know, like he'd like look to the camera, you know, and be like, you know,
He almost has lines without saying anything.
yeah. And so he's become more expressive.
He does have a super expressive face sometimes. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, like you're seeing the evolution of these guys. Like you're following them
Yeah.
through this like cinematic journey of all these films, and I appreciate that. I really, really like that.
Yeah, some of the charm I think to his movies is that they're really really fun. And I say that a lot on this podcast, but it seems like he just has a great time making the movies, has a great relationship with the cast. His wife is in several of the movies. I don't know if you knew that. He's one of the chicks that take Jay and Silent Bob across country in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
She's the chick that no one else recognizes.
He's like Dante's girlfriend or wife in Clerks 2. I think she's in Dogma.
That's where they met, Dogma, right? And that was the first.
yeah,
I thought I
maybe,
read that's where. Or Chasing. She wasn't in Chasing Amy, was she? Well, I know he
I
dated
don't
Joey
think
Lauren
so.
Adams, who was in Mallrats, Chasing Amy.
Her? Was she
Yeah,
the one that was in Big Daddy? No,
Yeah.
not Big Daddy.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
It's
was
Big
it?
Daddy, yeah.
Was
The
it?
blonde, with kind of like the weird voice, but she's still like attractive, and you're like, oh man.
Wait, what about that girl? She
She was Kevin Smith's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
For a time.
That's weird.
Yeah. And then I was like, man, you just must like dating your actresses, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go him. Meeting girls, dude. Living the dream.
Yeah, I don't want to stay on Clerks too long. Do you have anything else to say about Clerks before we move on?
I mean, I guess just
Worth
wrap.
checking out, huh?
Yeah,
I will try to shelve the black and white and sort of see through the filter there, like imagine colors, like on a paint workshop where I can just fill in. Like that's probably right.
He's even got this part. It's I guess towards the beginning, you know, where Dante and the chick are sitting on the ground and he's leaning against her. It's one long shot. It's like 5 or 6 minutes, and both the actors had all their lines memorized. And you know, instead of like one scene, it's like 1,000 different takes put together. It's one long continuous shot. He did it on the first day of filming the movie. So I had appreciation that he was doing something like that. You know, he wasn't just like, get as far as you can, we'll cut it, and then we'll do this. He was like, no. All this, one go, 5 minutes. I mean, that's hard when you're not like a theater actor.
yeah, right.
Because most actors think, okay, we're doing this scene, this scene, this scene today. I just need to know these lines. And the fact that these amateurs went in there and did it, and it's a good scene, you know. It's definitely kind of sets the story in motion. I think it's right around the time where the girl's like, oh, somehow blowing 37 guys.
Yeah,
or whatever.
they have this. She asks him how many girls he slept with, and he says like 13 or something, and she's like appalled by the number, and she's only slept with 4 guys. And then this other guy comes in, and she says something about she's went down on him before, and he's like, you didn't mention him and the guys that you slept with. And she's like, well, I didn't sleep with him. And she goes on to say that she's given 37 counting Dante different guys blowjobs. And he gets all upset about it, and she leaves, and he runs out the door, and he's like, try not to suck anyone's dick on your way to the car. And this other guy that's standing out there kind of turns and starts walking towards her, and he's like, hey, you, get back here.
I thought I read when the guy, one of the studio execs who first got a hold of the script or whatever, he's kind of reading, I guess he kind of thought this, you know, it's mildly amusing. And he got to the scene, you know, and Dante is telling Randall, he's like, my girlfriend sucked 37 dicks. And he's like, in a row?
In a row.
The guy, the studio exec that was reading the script, I guess laughed so hard. He took it to like his exec and was like, you've got to read this scene. And I guess from there they were like, okay, give this guy, you know, we're going to make this movie with this guy. And I was like, that is so...
That's all it took was like one scene to flip it. That's awesome.
And it's funny. It's pretty funny. Like I said, the dialogue is on point. I was able to look past the amateurness of it. Like I just
Amateur actors, amateur filming,
but you
black
have
and
so
white.
much respect because you know where he is now.
But it's so
you
much.
know, like-
There's a lot of character. The film's got a lot of character.
And he gave up a lot to film this one. He sold his entire comic book collection. It said the store closes at 11. It said he would film until like 4 in, get like 2 hours of sleep, and start the workday. They work 6 to 11. You know, 6 a.m. to 11 at night. And so he was doing this. I don't know how long the shoot took. You know, probably several nights. And I was like, man, you put in a lot of hard work. You can tell, obviously, you're in Hollywood making films. You still make films. You have a cult following. A lot of respect for you, man. I'm able to look past a lot on this movie at first go. So that really, really surprised. I'm really glad I got to watch this. So we'll just continue with the timeline here and jump to Mallrats, being his second film.
I actually didn't get to watch Mallrats this week, but I have seen it quite a few times.
And like I said, it's amateurish, but you can tell the production value has stepped up. For one, Nick, it's in color, so I thought you would like that.
Automatic improvement. Yeah, no, satisfied right off the bat.
Well, and not to jump back to right back to Clerks.
Damn it.
Well, Clerks 2, I like it. It has nothing really to do with Clerks 1, but the beginning of Clerks 2 starts out in black and white, and then converts to color. And I think a very creative way. It's a very interesting way to say, this is where I came from. This is where I am now. Here it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Gotcha. So fast forward through the black and white to the good stuff.
Okay. Mallrats. I think universally probably accepted as one of people's favorite Kevin Smith movies. Like he said on that podcast I listened to that when people come up to him in the street, it's usually like, oh man, I love Mallrats so much and this and that. And to me, Mallrats is towards the bottom of my favorites. I love it as a movie.
But it is in your favorites.
Well, I mean, they're all. I like them all.
All right.
I
just thought there were...
Jersey Girl.
Watching it now, having not watched it then, watching it now, it's very of its time, like hanging out in a mall.
Yeah.
Right?
It's relatable because we were able to experience some of that, it's very relatable.
Well, I heard he's been trying to make a Mallrats 2 and a Clerks 3 for a long time, and he said, surprisingly enough, it's easier to get funding for Tusk and Yoga Hosers and Moose Jaws than it was to get funding for Mallrats 2 or Clerks 3. So they're making Mallrats into a series now, I believe.
Dude, with him?
I believe he's making it, yeah.
Dude.
Are they going to have some of the same...
I don't know.
Because
I have no idea.
That's like... I don't know. I guess he could go either way. Like, if you somehow had Jason Lee and...
I love seeing Jason Lee and Ethan Suplee, I believe is his name.
Yeah, that's him. The guy
his co-host,
at
or his co-star on My Name is Earl.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
The big guy.
And I think he's hilarious.
Louis Lastic from Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny to see them way back then, and then fast forward to one of my favorite TV shows of all time. My Name is Earl.
That Ethan Suplee, thinking about it, is everywhere. Going back on those late '90s, early 2000s, all over the place.
Butterfly Effect,
Butterfly
Thumper.
Effect. Remember the Titans, Mallrats.
Yeah.
I
I like seeing Michael Rooker.
He's in John Q.
Who's that? Michael Rooker?
He was the chick's dad, the bald
Game
guy.
show host.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was weird seeing him too. I've only, I'm so used to him in like Yondu and
Stanley. Anyone?
Yeah,
Stanley.
I like seeing Stanley his first time. Yeah, because Stanley has a cameo in Yoga Hosers, and there was an interview with Kevin Smith saying I got to work with, I think the day they filmed the cameo or whatever, he was like, I worked with Stanley 20 years ago, whatever, on Mallrats, and I got just until today I was able to get him into another one of my films. Obviously, they're both comics,
Jason Lee had an
diehards.
awesome stash of comics in his parents' house.
Dude, yeah.
Like I was really wanting to take a dip through that.
And maybe Tyler knows more about this than I do. Someone says something to him like, good luck with the comic store. But then in Jay and Silent Bob, that character has a comic book store. So is it like a continuation of...
What's his name? Brody and...
Mallrats?
Brody Sangston?
Yeah, well, it's Brody's comics. It's Brody... Brody is the guy in the comic store.
That you're seeing evolution,
That's crazy,
plot
yeah.
points.
And he also plays... Because he plays two characters.
Yeah, he plays the...
The other character he plays is his character from Chasing Amy.
And that's why Ben Affleck has two roles in...
Exactly. Because him and Jason Lee are comic book writers in Chasing Amy who wrote Blunt Man and Chronic.
Right.
But they also play their other characters.
So that's really cool. Like that... And I remember when I first saw Jay and Silent Bob, I'm kind of like, why are these guys in two roles? And like I said, I think you were kind of like, no, man, it's all...
What'd you think about, just to jump ahead a little bit, Goodwill Hunting season?
That was awesome. That was
Yeah, I like
hilarious.
That was
Now
I
funny.
hadn't even
seen
seen
Good Will
Good Will
Hunting.
Hunting at the time,
Yeah.
and I knew what that was, and
Yeah.
I got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah.
Hunting season.
Hunting season, yeah.
I think that's awesome that Kevin Smith is such good friends with Ben Affleck. The
Dude,
And Matt Damon.
He got Ben Affleck his career,
And now he's Batman.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And who was
Well,
his
didn't they
biggest
say
fan?
something?
Kevin Smith.
Didn't they say something in Jay and Silent Bob like, first you make the safe picture, then you make the art picture, and something about and every once in a while you gotta make the payback picture because your buddy says you owe him, right?
Yeah.
It's a very meta movie. Jay and Silent Bob is super on the nose.
Yeah, I was going to say meta is that word we like to throw around in there. That is pretty meta.
The star power of Jay and Silent Bob is insane. The cameos that are
Yeah.
all the celebrities that are in it is nuts. Like Sean William Scott showing up, which I forget.
I think that's why it resonated as one of my favorites, because you got Jason
Jesus
Biggs
loves the
in the
little
middle of his
children.
American Pie fame. You know, you got Vanderbeek in the middle of his Dawson's Creek shit, and they point these out.
Chris Rock.
Pie fucker.
Rock.
But Chris Rock was big
guy.
in Dogma. Like Chris Rock was one of the main people in Dogma.
Dude, Mark
He
Hamill.
was funny in this movie.
You're
Chris Rock.
spoofing Star Wars. You got Mark Hamill on there. You know, like that. Carrie Fisher's in it. Like,
Jamie Kennedy was the
oh yeah, like
Chris
this-
Rock's white
Yeah.
boy server.
Will
or whatever.
Ferrell is the cop. You got Judd Nelson as the.
That's right.
You know, he's
Judd
the
Nelson.
douchebag in Breakfast Club.
Uh-huh.
He was the cop that making fun
He's
of Will
Bender.
Ferrell.
Yeah.
John
Okay,
Bender.
I wasn't sure if you caught it or not. But
I
was like-
actually didn't until you just said that, but like it makes sense now that you said
But
it.
I was like,
Who are the
man.
girls? It's Ali Larder and
Ali Larder,
Shannon-
Elijah.
One of the-
Dushku,
one of the girls
Molly
was his
Shannon,
wife.
and the other chick is his wife.
The one that. Sorry if you're listening to this. I think she's the least attractive out of the group.
sorry, Kev.
Sorry, Kevin. I love you. I love you, dude. And she's great. You know.
I
Maybe
think they're all,
she's like a fine wine and looks better now that she's older.
they're all four just beautiful babes in tight Catwoman spandex, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
I
it
could
was-
stare at this forever. But Ali Larder was in like a lot of '90s films. Elijah Dushku, all three of those actresses were.
Yeah.
I love the main chick in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Like I love her and Jay's like relationship.
Weird. It's weird now that I'm thinking about it. You know, they're talking to Jason Biggs and like the pie fucker, and he's like, "Did you ever bang that Russian chick?"
And
the
she-
Russians in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until this time I was watching it where I was like, "Oh, Kevin Smith."
There's
you
a
son
lot of
bitch."
stuff
Like,
in there that you don't really catch. The
And
first.
isn't Jason Biggs the star of or in Jersey Girl?
I can't remember. I've only seen Jersey Girl
I
once.
think he's. I think he's
Jason
in
Biggs in Jersey Girl.
it. I think so. Yeah, I saw the cover and
Oh wow, see, I
makes it
didn't
sound
know
like
that.
I didn't do my research, but I'm pretty certain he's in it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll admit I've not seen Dogma, Jersey Girl, Chasing Amy. Some of his,
Oh, Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler. Yeah.
yeah, I knew
Go
Liv
Ben
Tyler
Affleck.
was in it.
I think he is.
No, Mallrats was just. It had some really like smart writing to it. Like Jason Lee, for some reasons, like aside from his like annoying voice, like he was really talking some like truths there, and I was like, man, nice.
Okay,
I thought the whole scene was really.
but I don't see him.
The whole like setup was really funny. Like she's gonna be on a game show to be like auctioned off and like all this kind of crazy stuff just to
Yeah.
get out of that relationship, you know, with her dad and like the boyfriend and stuff. So
Oh,
that
Yep,
was really
he
funny.
is. He is in Jersey Girl. Sorry. Yeah.
I like.
great.
No, I was gonna say I like that Jay and Silent Bob were like on a mission. You know, like they weren't just like in Clerks. They're just it's almost like they're just like randomly put in.
They're
here
a
and
set
there.
piece. In
Yeah.
most movies, they're just.
And this
a set
one,
piece.
you know, Jason Lee and the guy are like, yeah, we got a mission for you, man.
I thought
And
that
they
was
come up
awesome.
with these blueprints, and like the blueprints actually, you know, like if you pay attention to what's written on there, you know, they're like talking about the cop they're supposed to like knock out of the picture, you know, get him out of the way, and they're like, you know, big fucking dumb cop, you know, written on the blueprints. I'm
Yeah.
not speaking that; it's on the
Yeah.
blueprints, you know, shit like that. And I was like, man, that's very Jay and Silent Bob. It's small things, you know.
Yeah,
You went,
absolutely, I agree.
these minor characters, and you gave them so much detail. Like I said, I liked everyone, I think, except the friend of Jason Lee, the main guy.
He just wasn't a great actor. I think.
No, and I could see that as well.
I think I would have liked his character more if someone else would have played him.
Yeah, I agree. Like Ben Affleck could have played that guy.
Yeah,
I
Ben Affleck
hated-
was the bomb in Phantom.
I hating Ben Affleck in Mallrats.
Me too.
Like his sort of fancy getup didn't even look like it fit right. It looked like a hammy. I don't know, like
it looked like
hand-me-down
really
or something,
baggy.
like a
Yeah.
used, like a fat guy wore.
But
it
maybe
and they
that's
gave
part
it
of the
to Ben.
charm. Like maybe that makes you just hate him a little bit more.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe it's like a douchey trend or something. But I was like, damn it, Batman, straighten up, quit acting like a fool. I hated seeing that.
Yeah, and he had like this like weird like high
Yeah.
high hair,
Like
slick
half
back.
pomp going on.
Yeah, it looked like some Charlie Puth shit going on.
And he's even treating the girls like shit. You know, I was like, oh, come on now.
I know it's so weird seeing him, and now he's got that like, you know, like Better with Wine look. You know, like a stern
He's-
playboy type facade. You know, like
He's got muscles, like on muscles now.
yeah. And then like see him in this role, you're like, wow, man, you're really dialing it back. That's cool.
Like I guess you didn't find any of the cosmetics or gym before that. I guess.
There's a lot of realisticness to the Mallrats aspect, and you know, and then it's also got its fine share of like, you know, like his own little spin on shit. You know, like the cops chasing him like through the outside, and he's got the grappling hook. You know, him
Well,
and
the chocolate covered pretzel
yeah.
and the
That even
fast
comes
palm
up
thing
in,
that I was
in
like,
Jay and
oh
Silent
my
Bob
God.
Strike Back as well.
yeah, he's like, would you like to try?
Here's
it?
the pulse. Here's your
Yeah.
finger. Far from the pulse. Jammed up your ass. You know, would you like
that
a chopped
was like
pretzel?
I caught myself being like, oh my god, like
Yeah, that's-
Pretty tough to,
Big-
pretty cringeworthy.
And he never washes his hand, but he ends up touching almost every other cast member with it if you pay attention. Like, he obviously does Michael Rooker first, and he talks about going to wash his hand, but later on he's got his hand on his friend. He touches a few of the other girls. He touches some other shit, and you're like, that hand has not been washed. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Like, like cringe humor.
Yeah.
Like, but hey, it's Kevin Smith's personal touch. You got to give it to the guy. It's obviously made him what he is today. So I'm gonna accept it, man. It's like I said, I like Mallrats.
It's a fun movie. And by the way, I'm pretty sure the big dumb security guard or whatever, the buff one, pretty sure he's Killian's right-hand man and Running Man. Steroids make you deaf? That guy? Pretty sure that's him.
Wow, yeah, okay, yeah.
Who
I thought he
also
looked
kind
familiar.
of plays a security guy. Just a more of a set piece, I guess, kind of in that one, too. A lot of, like, weird looks, but, like, not moving or running or talking.
He had, like, no lines.
Yeah. So he's good at that. He's a good stoic-looking, don't mess with me kind of guy,
The whole game show bit was funny. You had Dante on there.
Yeah.
Who plays Gil Hicks.
Yeah,
And
his
Dante
last name
Hicks.
is always Hicks.
So, like, you're to assume that this guy is Dante's brother. Like, just little shit like that, and you're like, oh, man, like...
Nice, dude. Yeah, absolutely enjoyed
I didn't even think about them
Mallrats.
being brothers. I just thought they used the same last name. But that makes a lot of sense.
When was Mallrats?
Ooh.
Like,
Are you... Well, when was Clerks? What year was Clerks, Tyler?
Ooh, okay. Hold on.
Let's say 94?
94.
So Mallrats
I was
had to
2
be,
years
like,
old.
90... Between 96 98, maybe? If, unless he put, like, 5 years between...
So we're looking
all these
at
movies.
Mallrats was 95.
Oh,
nice.
okay.
Good for him.
We're just knocking them out.
A year later, but like I said, it looks like the production value's gone way up.
Incredible quality jump there, yeah.
And again, awesome writing. The dialogue is... Sometimes it's out there. Sometimes it's, like you said, Jason Lee is hitting a lot of truth at you, and you're like, damn, okay, like... I'm aboard. And they have...
And then I believe Chasing Amy came after that in 97.
Yeah, because he had already met Joey Lauren Adams.
So he said something about
And Affleck.
on that podcast about the three movies that brought him into the scene: Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy. And then these will be the three that take him out: Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws just sounds interesting title.
It might sound less interesting when I tell you what it's about. I believe
man.
it's a Canada version of Jaws, but with a moose.
I don't know, I could be on board with that. Like, Yoga Hosers looked really weird to me.
Yeah.
Would anybody
It's
see
funny
Red
when you
State?
get. I've seen Red State. I don't remember it that well. I'd have to watch it
Yeah,
again
same
to give
here.
you an
I
accurate.
watched it like a year or two ago. All I know is it takes a darker turn than I thought it would.
Well, I think if we do another Kevin Smith episode, we'll have to do Chasing Amy, Dogma for sure, Red State,
He's also got Cop Out with...
Cop Out.
I did not like
He
Cop
didn't
Out.
write Cop Out.
No, it's the only movie that he has not written.
One of the reviews on that podcast that he read said something about the worst movie he's made since Cop Out, and he's like, "Well, I didn't write Cop Out." So
Yeah. And I heard he was really frustrated with Cop Out because Bruce Willis, I heard, was really hard to work with.
and
he said he was...
I thought Cop Out was funny.
See, Tracy Morgan was in
I
it?
like Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan is funny. Is Sean William Scott's in
Sean
that
William
one as
Scott.
well.
I thought it was okay.
I just, the overall plot, like, he's out to get like a baseball card or something. Like some, like a... I
can't
don't even remember the plot of the
can't
movie.
remember.
All I just remember, I saw it and I didn't care for it.
I do
But
remember
he
the
met-
Bruce Willis thing.
He met Bruce Willis on Live Free or Die Hard with Justin Long. And I guess they were like, yeah, we should do something together. That'd be cool. He gets the script for Cop Out, and I said, he didn't write it. And he's like, dude, I'm going to get Bruce Willis, right? We talked about this, and I heard he said he was just really hard to work with. Like, he was
I think the quote
immature.
was soul crushing.
Well, Bruce Willis didn't even want to be an actor. He wanted to be a blues musician. He settled for being a famous actor.
Well, he had some stake in that Hard Rock Cafe.
Well,
Like him, Stallone, and
apparently, like he doesn't
Schwarzenegger.
he doesn't even watch movies. Like in an interview for Red 2, they were talking about movies that I think Mary Louise Parker likes, and he kind of just threw, well, I like, this movie, and like he clearly wanted to be a blues musician and just had to settle for being a millionaire actor.
I thought he was like a bartender.
He was
Was
he a bartender? Yeah.
Work at a bar. A bartender at a bar. I thought he worked at a bar. I thought it was a bartender. And one of the producers or something of the Die Hard movie came up, got a drink and kind of started talking to him, liked his personality, and was like, hey, you should come audition for this movie called Die Hard we're doing. And I guess everyone else was kind of fell in love with that, like, signature John McClane, Bruce Willis. funny, badass kind of guy, like a gritty type, and look at him now. He's like the white Samuel L. Jackson. Plays Bruce Willis. Samuel L. Jackson is the same guy.
I don't even think you can compare anyone to Samuel L. Jackson. That dude's the hardest working actor I've ever seen.
He's like one of the most highest grossing
He's the
actors.
hardest working actor who acts like himself. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not knocking
He's got some range. He's done... I mean, he's very...
He takes Sam Jackson with him to whatever role.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't have range. Not
Bruce
that he-
Willis,
isn't
I
that-
think, is worse at it than Sam.
But isn't that the mark of a good actor? Bringing your own spin to a character that someone else wrote. You know what I mean?
I think sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes.
Fair enough. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I mean, somehow, I can't knock
He
Samuel L.
turned-
Jackson.
We talked about. Sorry, I know we're getting off topic.
No,
but
go.
we talked about the Hateful Eight a few days ago. I think.
Okay.
One of my problems with the Hateful Eight was Sam Jackson going on that the use of modern slang as he very explicitly describes this scene with that southern dude's son or whatever, and how he took him out and they did all these sexual things. But I was like, dude, none of those words were used back then. You were using all 20th
Well, that's another.
century slang.
That's a thing with Django as well.
Yeah, they use the term motherfucker and things like that, which
Well, even the excessive use of the N word. They didn't use that word in that time period.
there it is.
Blazing Saddles
But it
also
doesn't-
mocks that shit too.
But it doesn't take away from how good the movie was, in my opinion.
No. In Hateful Eight, it did. I was like, Quentin, you
think so?
You should have known better than to.
I don't think
that?
Hateful Eight was anywhere near as good as Django.
I don't either. No.
Yeah,
And
I
Yeah,
think
not-
it was a good flick. I just don't think it had the unique, just raw amazingness that was Django.
you could have cut out
I
half
have not.
of Hateful Eight.
I've not
but-
seen Hateful Eight, but I hear a lot of the same reviews of what you guys saying. Like it
I
didn't
enjoyed
have
it,
the
though.
same something as Django Unchained.
Yeah.
And back,
Joie de vie. I don't know what
Is
that means.
The only thing that
That's
had
French.
in common
I
with
took
Django
French. I don't even know what that
was it could have ended at 3 points, and it didn't.
Right.
And it's really long. That's not the point.
Yeah.
Anyways,
the point was we were talking about Kevin Smith,
Bruce
and Cop
Willis
Out.
and Kevin Smith and Bruce
let's
Willis.
rewind.
He
Rewind
said
a
he
little
will
bit.
never work with Bruce Willis again. He said it was immature, childish on set. Just really hard to work
Just kind
with.
of
And I
seems
was
like
man,
Bruce Willis just kind of seems like I don't know. If you're listening, Bruce, douche.
Good actor.
Sort of.
I like most of your films, but actors that
I've heard
prove
similar
hard-
things about Chevy Chase and Tim Allen. They're just monsters
yeah.
in real life.
Well, even Tyler, I know we talked, and this is again off topic. Sinners, you just have to bear with us on this. We're just going everywhere today. We were talking about Christian Bale on the
Bale.
set of Terminator Salvation.
Well, me and him, we're just done fucking professional.
we're fucking dumb.
If you get in
professionals.
his line of
actors,
sight, you
actors
get
that
punched.
just get too into themselves, they want to start barking orders and being douchebags and assholes.
See, and I love Christian Bale, and I love Michael Cera.
I do.
And on one of my favorite Michael Cera movies, Youth and Revolt, he goes off about how everyone's amateurs, and we'll be lucky if this movie is watchable at all. And it's like, dude, that movie was
Really?
hilarious.
Does he have a rant like that?
Yeah, we'll watch it after we're done.
All right.
It's
We
pretty
watched-
funny, but it's at the same time, I don't want to show you because I think you guys already don't like Michael Cera like I do, and this will probably solidify that.
Probably will. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it probably will, but I still think he's a good actor, and I think he's funny. But
I heard Katherine Heigl, I heard was hard to work with on.
yeah, and I got a blind spot there because what I've heard her say stuff about one of my favorite Seth Rogen movies, Knocked Up. It's like that movie was hilarious. Sorry to burst your bubble, it wasn't because of you.
Well, I thought I
Yeah.
heard she got pretty diva on Grey's Anatomy, which is why
I
she
don't
got
think
termed.
she's a good actress. I think
She's stale. No, everybody
so
knows
stale,
that. Oh,
and,
yeah. She is a Jessica
She
Alba.
fell hard into that after Knocked Up. She fell hard into the romantic comedy categories, and she has a few. What's the one she did? Gerard Butler, Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
That one was actually funny, but then you
No,
got
he's with Jennifer Aniston in that, I think.
no
Bounty Hunter?
they're all the same.
Ugly Truth or something.
Maybe.
Whatever she did with Gerard Butler was funny, but then she did a shitty one with Kutcher, who actually is a shitty romantic comedy expert. So
You know what? I hate how terrible romantic comedies are. They can be funny.
there's a few that are funny, but I feel like it's really easy to fuck them up.
Yeah, I think it should be a really easy thing, like love, comedy. Those are things that should go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You think,
Maybe there's just an abundance of them. I don't know. But back to Kevin Smith.
Again.
Sinners. Again.
He's just I think he's just too relatable to other things. Like, he's just got so much experience with so many big actors, so many amateur actors, so many different styles that it's
And
like it's easy
weirdly,
to get off topic.
a lot of his movies, like especially the comedies, before we dive into like Tusk and shit, they have a love story.
Correct.
Clerks had a love story.
Chasing Amy is if you want to get into rom-coms, Chasing Amy, that's
The whole movie's a love story.
Mallrats is the whole movie he's chasing the girl.
And you wanna see it through. You're like, dude, I want to know what's
get
gonna
that.
because they're both
Jay and Silent
it's actually
Bob.
a love story for both the main
Jay and
characters.
Silent Bob is a love story.
That is a love story. God, they are so good. Like Jay is,
And it's an unconventional love story, but it's one you want to root for. Like she's such a sweetheart and he's such a
Jay does say his hetero life mate. So
yeah.
I mean, you got to give it to him.
Yeah.
But Mallrats, I really liked.
Go on, sorry.
Did you like? Did you like Clerks over Mallrats? Is that where we're standing? I like Mallrats over Clerks,
I think
and it sounds like Nick's going to as well.
I'm gonna pick Clerks over Mallrats.
Are you just doing this to be different?
Like there's a reason I watched Clerks
Okay.
and I didn't watch Mallrats this week. I didn't have time to watch both of them, but even if I had, Clerks is definitely my priority.
Okay.
I chose Mallrats over Clerks to watch.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did.
It came down to time also,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Right.
True.
But diving, I guess we'll just keep moving along the timeline here. Jay and Silent Bob.
Which we've already talked to.
We've been talking about it. Yeah, I'm just saying this is probably one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies.
I think
It's up there, for sure.
probably Mine. Now,
I think it's one of the best. It's not necessarily one of my favorites.
and I haven't seen a lot of his movies. So out of the few that I've seen, which is like 3 or 4, almost half, this is to me
The standout.
the best one. Yeah. I did see it first too. It was also the first one out of all his movies that I saw.
And
There may be a little bit of like trend bias there. But I also heard the most about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back too. For what was out at the time, nobody talked about Clerks or Mallrats. It was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Well, it
So
follows
that's where I went.
their best characters that have ever been written into
I
a
get
Kevin
that.
Smith movie.
But I didn't, not knowing where, what that universe was, that's all everybody kept talking about. So that's where I went.
It's like you could almost compare it to like Lion King 1.5. Where they take Timon and Pumbaa, obviously the best characters in Lion King, unless you guys are idiots. But except for where Jay and Silent Bob wins and Lion King 1.5 flops, is that they actually do it well. They take the best characters and they make a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought I heard
And I guess that might not be fair to Lion King 1.5, because to be honest, I haven't really seen it. But
there was
it just looked like
Yeah, me neither.
there was some movie in theaters. When Jay and Silent Bob, the first trailer came out for Jay and Silent Bob. I heard people were flocking to theaters, buying tickets to these movies that showed the trailer. They'd watch the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob and then leave. Like, they just wanted to see, oh my God, these guys have their own movie. I got to see the first little bit of this.
Yeah.
They would see the trailer and then they would just leave. And I can't remember what movie it said it was, because I feel like it was pretty big. Like, well, damn, you just no wonder this movie did so fucking good. Everyone paid to see the trailer for this one movie, and then you left. Oh man, I'm kicking myself. I can't think of what it was, but it's amazing, because I wouldn't do that. And now online, especially, we can just, oh shit, there's a trailer for this movie.
Not,
and just
not
go
having the access that they did back then, I almost could like if a Justice League movie had come out back then, and a trailer was like a big deal. Yeah, you could bet I would.
Yeah.
I would go.
Well, you could I would just cherry pick a movie that I actually wanted to see that would have the trailer.
How would you know which movie had the trailer?
I
Well, I guess you got to
just
ask
go see a bunch
around.
of movies.
Ask the movie guy, like, hey, does
I
this
think it's
one-
pretty safe to say if you know the trailers in theaters, you go see a comedy, it's gonna be there. Like
Yeah, I guess
if you
you're
want
right.
to see a trailer for a horror movie, you go see a horror movie.
I don't know.
Sometimes they mix and match, but most
Like-
of the time it's
I think they go also R with R-rated. Like,
Probably.
I'm just. There's been a
That's
few
true.
times where like Nick's like, "Oh man, I went and saw this movie X, whatever," and I'm like, "What trailers did you see?" And he tells me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to see this, because I'm going to see that trailer." And I go see the movie at like a different theater,
you get a different trailer.
and I'm like,
I'll see it at the
goddamn
same
like,
theater, even like.
Yeah.
If we both go to whatever North Glen B&B.
yeah, if you work at a theater, let us know how they pick the trailers for what movies,
Yeah.
because it's
because I'm like
a mystery.
going to see a trailer
Yeah,
for this.
'cause if some wise
high five
ass
all my
goes
friends, I
switching
tweet
stuff
about
out.
it and give a good game to everybody in the theater, and then I don't get my trailer.
Yeah, well,
and I'm mad.
I'll go to see a movie that's kind of out of character for me. I think it's going to be good, but it's still like not in my normal zone, and I'm like, yeah, trailers, and then every trailer sucks. Or like if I go see,
I
went and
hate
saw-
that, man. I hate that so
I went
much.
and saw Ratchet and Clank movie because I love Ratchet and Clank. I'm a huge Ratchet and Clank fan, and then all the trailers were just like kids movies, which duh, of course it's going to be kids movies. It's a kid movie.
Man, okay, so I was late getting over here today trying to finish Tusk, And whoa, man, do we have a?
Yeah,
We have.
I'm not even
I
mad
can't
that
even-
you guys.
I
I'm
can't
not. I'm
even
not
say
even
the
mad
P
that you
word.
guys don't like this one.
I did like it at first, and you talked about it. I think Chris,
I
you
know.
said,
God damn it.
Everyone
you were like,
that has
it starts
a problem,
off really good.
Everyone that has a problem with it has a problem with the third act, I believe.
It got like I straight up like jaw dropped and was just like,
I think that's what he was
"What just happened?"
going for, though. And
It
I
was
will
an
say,
instant wilting boner. Right
I
there.
will say, I don't.
Just what you said.
There's two main issues I have with the movie. One, the ending. I don't like the ending. Two,
Me neither.
I didn't like Johnny Depp's character.
Oh, Guy Lapointe.
And I think he plays the same person in
And Yoga Hosers, yeah.
I did like Kevin Smith and Johnny Depp's daughters. I thought their part was pretty funny.
It was
Like,
funny.
which
I
is
thought
they're
Johnny
the same
Depp's character was
characters.
funny, but I don't get why he was supposed to be funny. He kind of seemed like he should have been
It
more
wasn't
serious.
it shouldn't have been a funny movie, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't get why he was like
Did you guys stay for
goofy
the after
when you're
credits
like-
stuff?
I didn't. I
Like
was never
during
gonna
the
eat
credits,
everything.
Kevin Smith comes on and does a commentary about the third act, and he's just laughing his ass off. Like it's almost like, yeah, I made this serious horror movie, and then right at the end, I just fucked all you guys. Like he's like,
Yeah, I
and
can
then,
feel that.
And then he's just gone too far. He's gone full walrus. He can't go back now, and like he's just laughing his ass off about it, and that almost made me like the ending a little bit more. Is how much he loved it.
oh man.
But I don't think it was a good ending. I think obviously in real life, they would have taken him to the hospital, separated his arms, he wouldn't have legs
Yeah.
anymore. But
Wait, I wanted to talk to you about that. I'm confused on how he is that. So I know
It's
it's a
suit.
suit. He's sewn up in the suit.
it's a suit.
in the movie,
Yes.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the movie, in that realm,
It
he's
is a
sewn in.
walrus suit. The guy says I made a walrus
Well,
suit.
right,
and he
but
puts
why-
himself in one, but his is just more full. You know what I mean? Like he gets actual tusks.
So Justin Long's little body, man, I hate saying that,
Is
actually in that suit,
Made of human skin, yes.
but the suit is fat. Like the whole, like, is it all skin? Because it's huge. It's so thick.
See, now the guy doesn't.
Like, is he
the guy
free roaming in this suit?
in the movie, the guy says it's human skin,
Right.
and obviously you see that. Now, the effect of it is it's a big rubber foam suit, but the guy doesn't establish that middle ground.
So like what you're saying is what is extra on his body that makes the suit so
yeah,
big? 'Cause
I
you
get
can
that the
see-
shell is skin, but
It could
like, is
it
the
almost could have
rest-
been like pale. You don't.
Yeah, the
need-
guy. That's what I'm saying. The guy doesn't clarify because you see like what Justin's moving his head and like the neck part, like a penis is like is like coming over the head. Like,
God, that's a horrible.
And I'm sure.
you could have said like a turtle, and you're like,
hey, we're
ah,
all.
like-
I was just laying it out
No,
there.
it's true.
It's very true, but it's
Ladies, if you've never seen one-
visual.
Because I was thinking of that
Ladies,
myself.
if you've never
like,
seen a penis, just watch Tusk. You'll know.
Now, don't think that that's what they all look like. You know?
there's
Let's
no.
just
there's,
ruin a generation right
It's a
now.
no-
rough image. There's scars some 13-year-olds that go check that. Oh, got it, man. 18-year-olds, girls,
but yeah.
guys.
Now
18.
when we saw the before we do this podcast, we saw the trailer for Tusk. That's how we decided we want to watch it. I was super hooked. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so good. This just has such an interesting concept.
I thought the same thing.
And the first act, whatever you want to say, is really strong.
I didn't like Haley Joel Osment.
Why?
I just don't think he did a good job.
I didn't mind him.
I
I
actually
didn't
thought
like.
he did better than I thought he was going to, knowing
Well,
he was in it.
I didn't. Okay. Obviously, we're podcasters. Kevin Smith is a podcaster. I didn't like their podcast. I would not have listened to their podcast.
It's a little weird,
They
yeah.
were like, he would say something, and Haley Joel Osment would be like,
I
and you're like, dude, it wasn't that funny. First of all, second of all, you're. I think you're.
Well, I don't like that they're like, and the girlfriend talks about it too. Like he's making fun of people.
yeah.
They're not my thing. I mean, I may make some joke about someone, but never
Yeah.
would I have a whole show.
I would
like,
never go to Canada to make fun of a guy who cut
Yeah,
off
this
his own
ain't
leg.
like.
And that effect was terrible. But I think that was a budget constraint.
yeah, sure, yeah, that I got.
Yeah, and I didn't like. Did the kid know that he was coming out to be interviewed? Or
The kid contacted
them. Yeah.
oh, okay.
So that almost makes it better. Like
And
I
that's
didn't
why
like-
Justin Long. That's one of his like defenses. He's like, look, he contacted me. This is what we do.
right.
well, just a quick thing about the special effects. Like a lot of the complaints in the reviews for Yoga Hosers was the like half-ass effects, and Kevin Smith was even like, "Yep, we ran out of money." Like he's like, "Sorry guys, we ran out of money. You get what you get. We still made the movie. Because they made it Yoga Hosers was like a $5 million budget, and that is extremely low in feature films.
To me, that doesn't even take away.
Yeah,
I feel like if I watched that in low effects,
because I mean, go back and watch
included-
Ghostbusters. Love Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The effects are horrendous.
I would just be like, this is just part of the movie. You know, this
Yeah,
is
this
how
is part-
this is the look of the movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even affect me. But so, like Tusk, and I actually didn't even care about the effects of Tusk. I was like, oh, this.
Well, it was only the one that I was
With
like,
the leg
upset
cutting
with,
off?
Was the leg cutting off? I was like, man, that looked. I think I could have done that. You know.
I didn't like the whole. Justin Long cheated on his girlfriend.
Apparently a lot, yeah.
Yeah, okay, and I get that. Did Haley Joel Osment go like spill the beans to the chick when Justin?
I was talking to
I was
to
like, what
our
the fuck,
Justin,
you
not
asshole,
Justin
like-
Long, obviously.
You know, I actually didn't think about that.
no, yeah,
I just
he-
assumed
and
that
that's
they...
the only way she would know.
And then he stays the night with her, and I was
Hold
like,
on, well,
did they?
I mean, yeah, it's a dick move. I was gonna try to defend him a little bit, but that's a dick move.
I was like, dude, like,
Justin Long, first of all, shouldn't have been, out doing whatever.
I love Justin Long, by the way. If
Me
I'm gonna take
too.
a second, I will watch almost anything he's in. As
think-
weird as it gets, like ever
He's
since
in
I saw
Youth in Revolt,
like
and he's
Jeepers
hilarious.
Creepers,
yeah,
Galaxy Quest,
accepted.
I will
God, yeah.
agree with you, but Family Guy had a line that I kind of agreed with. That Peter Griffin says Hollywood. It says something about to the effect of how Hollywood tried really hard to make a movie star out of Justin Long, but like nothing really that he's the leading man of has any sort of.
I didn't like Drag Me to Hell.
neither did I.
Justin Long isn't, in my opinion, a leading man. He's a
I
support
don't think so
actor.
either, but I think Hollywood tried to get him there.
And I don't think everyone has to be a leading man. And not everybody has to be a DiCaprio.
Like-
you can have your Justin Longs, and they can just be fun and like, oh, Justin Long's in that? I'm interested.
I don't hate
Justin-
on him for trying.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, like who?
I think
wouldn't
a
wanna
lot of
get,
it is his choice too. Like I think he chooses like Dodgeball, one of his best roles. Is he the leading man? No,
But
like,
he is a leading man in Jeepers Creepers.
And-
One of his best roles.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
accepted.
Like I
And
said, I
accepted.
think
Also a good choice.
I just hate to hate on Justin Long. I feel like
I
I'm
can't.
just
I mean,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
trying to hate on him. I just think
Like I
he's
said,
not, he's not a presence
it
like he
doesn't-
was in the mid 2000s.
honestly, I was thinking about this a while ago. I'm mad he's not in more shit. Like I don't know. Maybe I was
we'll have
talking
to
to
make
you
our
about
own
this,
movies,
Nick,
and
like,
we'll cast him.
we'll have to.
Justin Long, hit up the Cinamen. We got your back.
He was really funny in Tusk.
Yeah,
He was
like
good in
when
Tusk.
he
He
was,
was good.
supposed
He
to
was
be
good.
funny.
And that's what I'm saying. He does a lot of comedies, but he's good at emotion. Like when he's sitting there, and he's trying to like, he's immobilized or whatever. He's like paralyzed.
Well, he's kind of an odd-looking dude already, and I think maybe that's why people think.
the mustache. in the
Oh
mo-
my god! Did he think that was like a professional thing? Is that what that was for?
I mean, it was probably in character. I like them.
Because
No,
they talk
that's what did his character think that was a professional
Yeah,
thing?
maybe.
Because I was just like,
I
what
respect
is-
anyone who can rock just a mustache.
and,
I've tried it. Like
I'm not
when I
gonna
shave
s-
my beard and just leave the mustache, I'm like, nope, that's not me.
I look like I belong in a western when I do it. Like,
That's awesome. Why
Like-
wouldn't you do that?
I'm afraid
well-
Tom Selleck will punch me for it not
yeah,
being
I'm
good
not.
enough. or
I'm not
something.
saying it's like a look.
That
I
sounds
would.
awesome.
Walt Disney's rolling in his grave. Or
If I was
something.
going to film a western, sure. But if I was to wear that out in public, everyone would be like, "What the fuck?" Chris, dude, I'm not bringing you near my kid. You just look weird. Like,
With that molestache?
yeah. And when I have just like the goatee, I look like white trash. And
See, I
was
do-
like,
I do the
Jesus
goatee
Christ,
usually.
like I have to keep the beard together for it to pull like. Ladies, if you can't
Actually,
see
the
my
only
face,
reason I
it's
don't have a
pretty
goatee
dashing
right now is
beard.
because of what we just filmed. I wanted to keep.
Hold on, say it louder. We just filmed something, sinners.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Look for it. We
Well,
entered
I-
in a competition.
Well,
One of the
we
things
haven't
in-
finished it yet, so
No.
One of the things
But we
in
will.
Tusk.
Chickens.
So Justin Long is not the first person that he's walrused.
No,
Is this
and
like-
I like that they save that towards the end.
Is that just like a? I like that he sees the other one at
Yes.
the bottom of the
That's
tank.
a good way to reveal that there's been others without having to just
Were they
you're
just
not my
flaws,
first.
or did they just die? Or I mean,
Well,
it doesn't really say.
I think
but
when they get into the walrus battle at the end, I think that was the first
Oh.
time he lost.
I didn't think about that.
See,
Okay.
I thought the people because he sends Justin Long, he pushes him in the water, and I was like, oh shit, like because that had to be scary as fuck, man. Like, he is like legit trying to keep himself. Like that's why I was like, oh my god, like this is a terrible way to end the movie. Based on the real ending, motherfucker.
Don't just drown
Yeah,
him.
I was like, oh my god, like you're trying to keep yourself up. If you go under, oh my god, like
I think that was
that
just,
would be fucking scary.
I think
I
he's
thought
just
they had
trying to
drowned.
pull out the walrus in him.
Yeah.
He's like, survive, be a walrus. Embrace the
Yeah,
walrus.
you're gonna dress as a walrus. You're gonna be the walrus.
You're gonna be a walrus because I was stranded for 6 months on a small island.
So
with one?
yeah, so I guess for 99% of the world that hasn't seen this movie, the guy that captures Justin Long, we haven't even really explained the movie at all. The guy who captures Justin Long got stranded at sea, and the thing that kept him alive and kept him safe was a walrus. Kept him warm, brought him in, and he was about to starve, so his last resort was to eat the walrus. And it seemed like he had just started eating the walrus when the rescue team showed up. So that's
that's
sad.
kind of how it made it seem like.
Almost
he
like-
apparently was trapped here for 6 months, stranded for 6 months.
so.
is what he
Mr.
said.
Tusk, as he calls the walrus, was his only friend. His only salvation that kept him alive, kept him going. And then he had to kill his best friend. So that's almost even like, I think, a good. It's not like, obviously, if you're stranded and you like love a walrus, don't come back and turn people into walruses. But I think as far as movie villains go, that was an interesting way to make him one. Like, if you think about a movie where you make people into walruses, what could possibly be the motivation? I think that was.
I was gonna say, as creative as this movie was, I did like the bad guy. I guess we'll call him.
Yeah.
Howard Howe?
Howard Howe, yeah.
I did like his backstories on how it came to that. He's also, Nick, you said you haven't seen Red State. He's also a bad guy in Red State.
He's in the Kill Bill movies, which I thought was weird
wait,
because they have
he
a
is?
Kill Bill kid.
Who
He's
is he?
credited. The old guy.
Who is he in Kill Bill?
Oh, that I don't know. He's just
Tyler,
credited.
have you seen?
I've seen Kill Bill. I do not remember.
I'm not
okay.
into. I actually didn't.
And
like
I saw
Kill Bill.
Red
I love
State
Kill Bill, but-
before this, and when I saw
Damn it,
Red
every
State,
time.
I was like, oh my god, this guy is, he's pretty captivating as a bad dude. And obviously he's in Tusk, and you're like, you are continuing that.
Well, if there's
that,
one thing
you know.
that I can say about Tusk that I can't say about almost any other horror movie, it was legitimately horrifying. Like, I felt myself in that walrus suit, and like, I wanted to hide. That's scary as fuck.
He cut out his tongue, right?
Yeah.
Cut out his tongue.
Okay.
Cut out his tongue, attached tusks to his face, cut off his legs, sewed his arms to his.
Like flippers. Like,
Yeah.
He sewed his arms, Sinners, he sewed his arms together, like,
triceps
down
to
to,
his ribs.
like, his elbow, basically. Like, elbow up to shoulder is sewn onto his ribs.
That,
Or-
like, I felt that.
sides.
Like that
Elbow
is-
to pit,
That is
yes.
not something, that's not a situation I would ever want to be in.
No.
Like, that's a fresh new kind of hell that I didn't know existed.
like I said, ever since you told me, like, Kevin Smith has that commentary and he's, like, laughing about it, now I'm like, I just hate the movie even more now. Like you had such a strong premise, a creative premise, and it was going so good, and then, like, it kind of takes a turn down, like, shit creek.
I feel like Johnny Depp, if he was less funny, his character would have made more sense. And then Justin even pointed out, when they go into the house to rescue him, Johnny Depp's nowhere to be found. He doesn't do anything.
I noticed that right away. He doesn't even like
does help
rush
him-
in at all.
He does help him find the house. But, like, could have killed him, would have been a better ending. Could have rushed him to the hospital, would have been a better ending.
Well, cops wouldn't take him to, like, that's where you get, like, unreal. Cops wouldn't take him to an animal sanctuary. Cops would be like,
I thought it was like an insane asylum, and they just, like, had to accommodate him by giving him, like, a little shack outside.
Well, there were like animals outside the front. I thought it was definitely like some sort of.
I thought
animal
the
shelter
thing said
type.
animal sanctuary. Again,
But
I
Kevin
watched this
Smith-
a week ago.
Kevin
so.
Smith also isn't known for he's known for putting unrealistic things in realistic
Yeah,
movies.
like the dead body in Clerk, like the girl fucking the dead body in
Well,
Clerks. and
I'm
shit.
even more saying, like, using the Force in Mallrats, and, like, using the Force in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He used the Force a lot, but
He's a Star Wars fan. Yeah.
yeah, so he's not.
I think he's
one
into
who-
Star Wars. Yeah, I can't really tell.
I think I was perfectly fine. I figured I was going for the walrus thing when you see that the second leg's been moved and that he's been fused on the arms.
Yeah.
But it's just that at that time, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, so I get it. And like I thought I had it, like I was fine and ready for it. And then I saw the like
Then you
suit, and
see
I
the
straight up
walrus.
like maybe cringed and like flinched.
I liked the suit. I
The
think
suit was cool.
Suit.
Oh no way, dude! I was like, I didn't want to touch it, even though it's
But
fake.
that's the point.
It was gruesome
But
and
am I
grotesque.
wrong that that's the
which
point?
made me love it even more.
Yeah, I think.
Like you could see he skinned a
worked.
human
I'm
face.
saying it did its
and
job,
part of
but
the
I was
suit.
like, oh man.
yeah.
I was like, oh man, stellar job. Like that's
And they
fucking
even
awesome.
had like the little like furry things next to the tusks,
the little
the
hairs, the
little
little
whiskers.
Okay,
Yeah.
and another weird kind of part. They're playing with the walrus like penile bone thing.
I don't think that needed to be in there.
I thought he was going to like
Give
you're
that to
a
him?
walrus, be a walrus, and like
Yeah, here's your dick.
create some sort
Wow,
of like
not
sick
yet.
fantasy. So I was almost in a way was going like in a direction. Probably Kevin Smith was like, "What the fuck's your problem, dude?"
Yeah.
You know that even he was like not gonna go. But then it didn't go there, and I got to erase all that, and that was fine. You know?
Okay.
Dry erase.
See, I instantly once they start talking about how hard it is, and I didn't even think about that was going to get put on because I knew it was going to happen. Obviously, you know, I didn't even think that was going to get put on. I just was like, okay, someone's going to get knocked out with this or use this as a weapon because I seemed like they just dropped like a few lines instantly, and like, yeah, it's stronger than like a femur bone, you know, or it could be used to kill someone. Or whatever they say.
Did you catch that his name was Wallace?
Yeah,
And they were turning him into a
Yeah,
walrus?
I did.
I thought that was interesting.
I like that. I didn't mind Haley Joel Osment. Like I said, I was like, man, you totally were a douchebag going
Totally
to
mistreated his girlfriend.
And then it was
Like, she was a
unclear if they
babe,
like.
and she was super sweet. I mean, obviously she was cheating on him, but
It was
you know,
unclear
he was
if
cheating on her. So it's
they
like, it's a
slept
gray
together.
area.
Like Joe Osment and the chick slept
They-
together.
They obviously did.
Did they?
They woke
I
up in
was
the
kind
same
of-
bed.
Well, that's why I was like, you know,
But,
I didn't know.
they woke up. Her head was on
Yeah,
one.
I didn't
end
know
and
if it was
his
one of
on
those like overly like movie moments where like the friend consolidates the girl after he
Well,
tells
that's
her.
only leading to one place, and she obviously knew he was.
I think I
I
was
think
most
they
bothered by the
slept
fact
together.
that like Justin Long finally gets to the phone, and I was like, yes. And then he calls both of them, and I was like, okay, no.
Please.
Since 2013, nobody's left their phone unattended all night.
Well, you also
Nobody.
call the police first.
True.
Okay,
Is-
how
wait,
fast do you
is
think?
911 the same in Canada?
It doesn't matter. You call 911, someone picks up and you go, "Hey, I'm in Canada. This is where I'm at." And they say, "Okay, I'm about to call the Canadian police." You know, if you call the police in
Yeah,
America,
yeah, that's
they're
true.
going to know how to get a hold of the Canadian police faster than you are.
Well, didn't
And
when-
faster than your friends are.
Well, okay. I guess it'd be different if Justin Long called him. But didn't Joe Osment and the girlfriend go to the cops?
Ooh.
And the
I
cop
love
was
when
like,
they call
well,
I
this-
love when they call 911 and they're like,
He's
do you
got
have a
photo on
recent
the
do you have a
website.
recent picture?
NaziParty.com.
NaziParty.com and Haley Joel Osment, this is his only redeeming in my point of view. Spell it. And they
Yeah.
hung up on him. Oh man.
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, part of me thought he didn't call the cops because they wouldn't be believed, but part of me also thinks
Well, you didn't have to
don't
tell them they're turning him to a wall.
Well, right. Part of me thinks you go with the case that's going to get them there the fastest. In a situation like that.
Yeah.
Like you are missing it's clear you're not leaving. You need to get them there. And so you make up whatever you have to a
get them.
degree
Well,
to get them there. Like
I'm gonna
I
go.
would've-
I'm gonna throw it way back to Three Ninjas. Whenever you need the cops there, you just call and yell fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go.
Hold on.
You
I
guys-
love
you guys
Three
remember
Ninjas.
that? You guys
Which one
watched
was
Three
this in?
Ninjas?
Which one was it in?
The amusement park one, the third one.
Oh, that's the fourth.
That's the
Oh, is it
that's
the fourth one?
That's the worst one too, man.
High Noon at Mega Mountain.
Yeah, it's
The one with
obviously the
Hulk-
worst one,
with Hulk Hogan.
but it's the one that applied to this situation.
See, I've seen
Yeah,
the first
okay.
three more than
So that's why I wouldn't.
Yeah, obviously.
I've known that quote. I think pretty sure we watched that with you the first time,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm
Any
not
Three
watching
Ninjas
this
out
again.
there? Three Ninja
Sinners,
fans out
Three
there?
Ninjas fans.
Yeah, I love Three Ninjas,
I think
dude.
John Turtle.
Didn't we
did
even
the
like
first
pick
two.
which ones we were when we were kids? And like,
Colt, what up?
I don't remember their names, so sorry guys.
Rocky, Colton, Tum Tum, duh.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
It really, well, it sets nice when you say it all together like that
Yeah.
with the dud.
Rocky
Rocky.
Colt.
Sinners, comment on your favorite Three Ninja.
Man, those are some good flicks.
Okay, so this ending, they keep him in this sanctuary thing, and then the two. It's been a year, and they just go in and they feed him, and that's like
Eat him a mackerel and
no, absolutely not. And
Yeah.
how does he eat the fish with the tusks?
Well, how does a walrus eat fish with tusks?
But I feel like a walrus can like manipulate them more, like kind of like up or down, and his are just stuck in his cheeks.
Yeah, but when you look down,
They're not part of him, like his like biology. So I feel like like if we had a tail put on us, we wouldn't be able to move it. But animals can move their tails.
yeah, but I don't think walrus can move their tusks. They can just move their mouth.
Well,
and
no,
muscles.
but move them.
But they
like,
have. But
up
they probably
or
have
down.
muscles
right?
where
to,
we
like,
don't have muscles.
It's just enough to like fold them out of the way.
Like, you know, like cringe them
Right,
up. but
obviously
they,
they're not like- they
they're
don't
not like
put
one,
one upright.
tusk is going to be flapping and the other tusk's
like
not.
cockeyed tusks or anything like that.
You know, with every
The
horror.
fight was weird. Like
Oh, yeah, that was.
I thought that was. It was almost a little too far, but a part of me
and
didn't hate
wouldn't
it.
that hurt? Those surgically
I
implanted
thought that
tusks
too.
in your face, stabbing through
I thought that too.
bone and like
Probably.
I mean,
Like, I'm surprised it
in that
didn't
kind
show
of moment-
repercussions of, like, his face, like.
getting crushed in or something.
Yeah, god damn. Ugh.
Yeah, true.
And I know with every horror movie now, you like to sit there and replay the movie, and you're like, okay, was there a point where I think if I was in that situation, I would have tried to escape or would have tried something different?
I think
There was going all the way to the beginning of his first meeting with Howard Howe. he's getting served tea. I'm not a tea drinker. So instantly I was like, well, I would be like, hey, man,
Well, you don't like iced tea. I think hot teas taste different. Because he even
I don't like
says,
any tea.
he says in the movie, I'm not a tea drinker, but this is delicious.
I don't like iced tea, warm tea, Mr. Tea. Ooh, just kidding. Mr. T's not bad.
I don't know. Yeah, and you're staying there for free. I think all he has to do is listen to these stories. I would drink the tea. I mean, I would accept.
I feel like I'm that guy that's like, hey, I'll just take water. Like
Well, it's almost, well, then you
And
just put
I
the
know,
drugs in water.
I know. Oh yeah, that's true.
Man, that's some funky
Well,
taste
oh,
of
he
water.
was planning to stay the night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
All right,
I
yeah,
think that
well,
was the deal.
fuck.
Just
Okay.
like listen to my stories. I'll
All right,
feed you, keep you for a
Man,
my
I
night.
think-
plan would have fell through.
Drugging someone works way better than tying them up. If you tie someone up, they can get out. Like it, unless you use like chains.
This guy
but,
was-
like there's a way to get out of a rope or tape or something. Like drugging someone, it really takes your body from the inside and just shuts it down.
Was it? I kind of like because he only takes one leg at first,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, I was like, why don't you just go full on, take them both? But he was like, oh, there's a spider, blah 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 blah, and I was like, that's okay, because oh my god, like I am Jeff Daniels from Arachnophobia. Okay, I don't care how big the spider is.
Brown recluse.
I'm a pussy
And
about
like
it.
we like being from the Midwest, we hear brown recluse and we're like, oh okay, yeah.
Like I don't do spiders. I'll admit, sinners, my wife kills them all. I'm that guy. I don't care. Make fun of me. Comment on how much of a
Don't
girl
worry,
you
sinners.
think
I got
am.
him. I'll get him after the podcast.
Does she kill them all?
Some.
Man,
There's,
nice.
there's a few of those big ones that are there when she's not there, and oh no, they got away. I couldn't get them. Oh. When really I just ran out of the room and shut the door. And
That's so silly, man. They're so small.
hey,
Step on
hey,
it.
hey, you knocked that
Throw some
off.
Tupperware on them real fast, trap them, and
Nick, remember when we lived at our parents' house? It's kind of a rural location.
We got
You know,
spiders all over this house.
Cinamen, Nick, and I used to get like the aerosol and like a blunt weapon, and we were like, okay, we're gonna spray that bastard in all 100 of his
it
eyes.
was a tag team effort.
Yeah, and then we're gonna crush the shit out of him. I don't have that at my house. Okay,
Man, sometimes I'll go out to my truck and there'll be like a web in there, like
in your
spider.
truck,
Yeah,
in your truck,
Yeah,
in the cab of your truck.
spider's a spider, man.
Shut up. In your car.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not saying that didn't happen. I'm just saying I'd be like, well, honey, I'm
Sinners,
walking
his,
to work.
His car's parked outside right now.
It's locked. No spider's getting in.
It doesn't matter if it's locked or unlocked. Spiders can't open the door, man.
Actually, it did happen to me on the way to work one time. I saw a spider in my windshields. It's dark. Right? I'm going to work. This is back when I went to work at like 5 in the morning. I put on my windshield wipers because I'm thinking I'm going to knock the spider off. They go right over it and come down, and I was like, it's on the inside! Like, I like braked my car, pull over.
The call's coming from inside
dive
the house.
out. And of course, the spider it was a tiny spider, thank God, but it got away, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" I've still got 15 minutes before I get to work. God
Thank God
damn
you're
it,
still
like-
alive, man. That was a close call.
Huh?
So thank God you're still alive. That was a
Yeah,
close
it
call.
probably would have ate me, and maybe a sarcophagus.
I'm pretty
like-
sure it was planning to just suck your jugular right out, bite your whole ankle off.
Back to Tusk, I liked that he was like, "Yeah, it's spider."
Yeah.
In order to say we had to hack it off, hack your leg
That's probably
off.
the only reasonable explanation for you to wake up without a leg.
Yeah,
And it's not even reasonable, but it's like,
it's almost. I don't mind that the guy tried to approach with caution about it instead of just taking both legs off and being like, "You're my prisoner, bitch." He like took one leg and he's like, "Oh, tries to like ease into it," and then eventually, Justin Long, I think, was like, there was no spider.
that's crazy. There was no spider, was there?
yeah. And the guy, you're just like, okay.
Well, the whole story gets weird because he's like, "Where's the doctor?" Oh, he's kind of doing
He's
his
making
thing.
his rounds.
Said to
Yeah.
stay here, and he's
He's
like,
like,
"That
we're in
doesn't
the
even
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, I've been to the middle of nowhere.
He says, yeah, he's like, the doctor said to stay here for a few days or whatever and get rested up. And he's like, that doesn't even make fucking sense. So right away, he
Yeah.
kind of had some cues. And obviously waking up without a leg's a big fucking cue to have. I would be freaking out.
Yeah.
Thinking, I was trying to, what you said, kind of put myself there. No, being mobile like that, or immobile at that time, and then just seeing this, absolutely not. No, I'd have freaked out right there, man. I'd have
Yeah.
probably went into shock. Not even gonna lie.
Heart attack or something like that.
So I don't care what it is. I have a missing leg. Need
And I've watched a lot of horror movies, and that's like one of the first ones that I looked at and was like, "There's no hope."
yeah. No, absolutely. I was
Yeah,
nope.
that's not getting someone back on.
I threw 15 nopes in
That's
there when
gone.
I watched it.
Yeah, that's gone. And now, I saw the trailer before, and I know you lose the other one, you motherfucker. So,
Why do you put the 1 foot on ice though? If it's not going anywhere.
see, that's another thing. I was like, why is that on
I think
ice if you're not
he-
planning on doing anything with it?
He's harvest tendons or
Well, he took
bones or something.
He took the bone out to make the tusks, I believe.
The femurs?
Yeah, I believe the bones from
Oh,
the legs became
really?
the tusks.
Oh, I didn't
Ugh, okay.
think about that.
I think
Okay,
they mentioned it.
I think, yeah, now that I'm thinking about that, I was like,
I think they
okay,
said
yeah,
something
I
about the
didn't-
femur, and he's like, a leg bone? What? And like, yeah, I believe it was
That just makes
used to make the.
where Justin Long like looks down, like moves the blanket, and then you see it, and you're like,
Is it okay? I'm sorry.
man.
Is he missing his legs from the waist down or like knees
knee
down?
down.
Okay.
But he took the femur out, I guess.
I don't know.
But
Which
I
one's
think
the femur?
it was my
Femur is your thigh bone. That's why I was.
And
asking.
I'm no-
I don't know. Maybe it was a tibia.
maybe it
or
was a
fibia.
shin bone. I don't know. Shin bone
Those are the
connected
shin
to
bones,
the
right?
femur bone.
What?
Tibia and fibia.
I think
those
so.
the shin
Yeah.
bones?
Hell, you're just making up names.
No, I'm pretty sure he's
okay.
right.
Oh yeah, those were connected to the lateral dorsimus bone.
Didn't you fail school?
No.
I did. Some, not all. Right? Some. I walked that stage as you. Thanks.
Hey, whoa. That's a classic moment, Kay.
Out of
That
the
was
four
good.
thanks. The only time we switched, surprisingly. Out of the four we watched, you said yours is your favorite.
I think I'm still gonna go with Jay and Silent Bob, man.
Me
That's
too.
a hard
Me
one to
You said
dethrone
Clerks.
in my book.
No, I picked Clerks over Mallrats. I think Jay and Silent Bob is a better movie.
And-
I like Clerks more, but not because of the movie, because of what it represents, who Kevin Smith is. So if I'm going like the most enjoyable, I would watch Jay and Silent Bob over.
If we're just going Kevin Smith, I actually really, really like Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Oh, if we're going all Kevin Smith, I'm going Dogma as my top.
I say I want to see Chasing Amy. I want to see Dogma. I need to see Red State again. Cop Out to me is I need to see Jersey Girl. So I've definitely Sinners. I have not seen some of his more classic ones. We chose
We tried to pick the classic, like the starter.
something different. Obviously
Him
with
taking
Tusk.
him taking the highlight with Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, obviously something different with Tusk, and then Mallrats, just one that people generally like. One of his early films, very representative of who Kevin Smith is. And
Overall, Kevin Smith to me, I can't knock the guy as a director. Like I said, I truly admire seeing how he has come to where he is today. He's obviously a mainstream guy. He's all about comics. He's been approached by DC and Marvel, I think,
Yeah.
to do different things here and there. He's got his Comic Book Men show. He does podcasts out the ass. The guy is talent, and whether or not
crap.
we've seen it all,
I was gonna actually listen to the podcast where they came up with the idea for Tusk, and I did not get around to it.
oh, it's called.
I
think the podcast episode was called "The Walrus and the Carpenter."
Yeah, I have it downloaded. Dang it!
Yeah, I was actually reading about that.
Oh man, it's literally on my phone right now. I gotta listen to it.
I like that he's showing range. Nick, especially I think if you see Clerks, you're gonna be like, oh man, okay, so this guy, I just have a deep admiration for him. D words that I can't think. He sacrificed a lot to
got-
make that first movie, and then it was so worth it because he just, he kept getting to make more, and obviously now he's very mainstream. He's got quite the fan base. I think most people can generally say, yeah, I've seen a Kevin Smith movie, and it was all right.
And he's a director that has not sold out. You know what I mean? Like maybe a little bit on like two of the films we mentioned earlier, but he's definitely makes what he likes.
Yeah.
like he
And I respect that, man.
Well, he talks about how all these people are hating on yoga hosers, and he said, it's not for you. This movie, I made this movie for tween girls. Like he made this movie, basically. I don't know how to put it any better, but he made it for tween girls.
Right.
It's not for me. It's not for you. All these critics that went and saw it. He said he was surprised 22% on Rotten Tomatoes liked it. And he asked himself, is this all worth it? And he said, this is what you wanted. This is what I wanted. I went out and I found $5 million to make this movie. This
Yeah.
is what I wanted, and he's happy with it. And that's, whether or not you like the movie, you got to respect that at least he's willing to be himself no matter what, put himself out there, make movies.
He takes criticism very well.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't let it... he's not like, oh, goddamn, Ebert and Roper.
Well,
I don't like them because they don't like any of my stuff. No, he's like,
He
you have
hears
the right
the
to like it or
reviews,
not.
and on most of them, he'll say, "Oh, okay, I understand that. I see why you would see that. I don't think that, but I see
Yeah.
why you say that."
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Like, I'm
in
going to
my
take
opinion.
that, sit on it, and let it boil. But also, I'm going to tell you, this was my vision.
Yeah.
I feel like, not that I'm a big Hollywood director yet, I feel like some directors would be, take that and be like, oh man, I really want to, I'm trying to get my next film right on point so that these specific guys don't hate it. He's like, no man, I'm gonna do my thing, and his wife is supportive of it.
Yeah.
Obviously his daughter's supportive of it. She's one of the stars of his newest film. Sinners, if you've seen Yoga Hosers, please drop a comment, tell us what you thought. Tell us what you think of some of these other movies. You obviously know where we stand. Kevin Smith, to me, he's an amazing director, and he's not one that has to do a big Nolan blockbuster or a big crazy thing like Tarantino to get noticed. I look forward to his stuff coming out, even though I'm not fully on the same page with him every time. So like we said, once again, our favorites, I think, was of the 4 we watched with Jay and Silent Bob, I think, around the table. Jay and Silent Bob. If you haven't seen any Kevin Smith films, really, you should check them out.
Check any of them out.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe read the descriptions because they've all got a little something different to offer.
Yeah.
If you're into rom-coms, Chasing Amy. If you're into buddy stoner comedies, Jay and Silent Bob. If you're into crazy horror movies where people get turned into walrus, check out Tusk.
some shock value, check out
If you like
Tusk.
hanging out at the mall rats. If you've ever worked as a clerk, Clerks 1, Clerks 2. If you've ever worked, fast food.
Red State's also one of those kind of like shock value ones where you're like, oh damn, like this.
If you like feel good emotional pictures, check out Jersey Girl.
The guy truly has a way with writing. He kind of hits you right on point there. Excellent writer, director. He's got good sound design in a lot of these movies. I think we were talking about before.
We actually didn't do any ratings this episode. Do you want to do that, or you want to forego it on this episode?
We can. I mean, if we're gonna go out of 10. I guess we'll start with what we said our favorites, and then maybe just work our way.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, starting at the top of the totem for our 4 favorites here. Jay and Silent Bob, around the table. I will start with Nick. What do you give it?
I'm going to give Jay and Silent Bob, I'm going to give it an 8. I just really enjoy it. It's definitely got some parts that, aren't like, I'm not super into the whole, like, click commander thing and all that. But
that was funny. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a Kevin Smith film without it, so I'm going to give that an 8.
I'll go 9.
I think I'm also going to give it an 8. Like, all of his stories have a little goofiness to them, but it's in a way that you want to stay along for the ride. But Jay and Silent Bob is definitely funny. I think, like I said, it's going to sit at an 8. And if I'm working my way down the totem of the 4 we watched, Mallrats is going to be my second favorite. And I like Jay and Silent Bob more, but I'm also going to give Mallrats an 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can both be there, but that doesn't mean they have to
I'll go
dead
8.
even.
I'll go 8. Mallrats.
Mallrats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well. I just really enjoyed it. It was the first one I watched.
I'm going to go Clerks as my third favorite. Like I said, very
This
amateur.
is where we're going to diverge.
Really?
I'm going to go 8.5 for Clerks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very amateur, but like I said, I just have so much admiration because he's truly come so far. And the fact, when you read back on him, he did a lot to get that made, and it turned out, and he's proud of it. It's something he wears on his shoulder. I mean, I got to give it to him, man. And I'm going to give that one I'm going to throw the story and plot kind of aside
Out
on
the
this
window.
one. I'm going to give it like a 7.5.
Okay.
Like I said, I just have a lot of respect for what he went through to get this made. So.
And then we're going to
go Tusk. And I'm going to give the first half of the movie like a solid 8, and then the second half like a freaking 4. So I guess I'm going to average it down to like a 5.
I'm gonna
really let me down.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Like,
cool. There's some cool stuff. Which
5 means it's okay. I'm giving it that.
I think I liked it a little bit more than you guys. I'll go 6. I want to say 6.5, but I'll stay steady at 6, I think.
there's some cool stuff in there. Obviously, Justin Long, like I said, is one of my favorites. Johnny Depp is Johnny Depp.
If you like weird stuff, hit up Tusk. I think it's worth a watch.
And the ones we haven't watched, like I said, Tyler says they're all worth watching. I've heard they're all worth watching.
Yeah,
we will probably definitely come back with a Kevin Smith part 2.
Watch Dogma again, see if it holds up as well, and I would almost be willing to give Dogma a 10. But that's more of a personal thing.
Right,
like, first Kevin Smith movie, really enjoyed it. I like the topic a lot. Like, it's not so serious about religion and pokes a little bit of fun at it, but still,
Right.
The people still obviously know their shit. Alan Rickman's in that one, which is he plays the Metatron voice of God, which is interesting. Jay and Silent Bob are prophets that lead someone across country. It's a really good movie.
I had read that when he got Alan Rickman to be in this film, I guess he told Jason Mewes, I guess he was like, "Hey man, we got
a real
really
actor.
quality actor here, so you need to be on your shit." I guess Jason Mewes memorized the whole script, including Rickman's lines, and I guess impressed both Rickman and Kevin Smith. Like, oh, okay, like, damn, you went. I just told you to, maybe shape up a little, but fuck, man, you went above and beyond, and that's awesome. So, like I said, Sinners, Kevin Smith, he's worth checking out. Obviously, you want to follow along in his little universe movies because he's got a lot of the same guys. Ben Affleck got his start. A lot of funny stuff. And if you like what we're doing, make sure to share, like, comment.
Tell people about it.
Yeah, we're on iTunes. Look us up. Go to our website, www.cinamen.com.
CINAMEN.com.
Nice. That was good. That was like robotic. So, yeah, get out there, do your thing. And above all, just take away that you don't need to be a dick.
Support a podcast.